What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. And this red wave that's coming in the midterms, there's no way to stop it. It's a tsunami, and you don't have the power to stop it. And I think that's why we're seeing more desperate measures, because we're in desperate times, at least if you're coming from the side of a corporatist. That's why we have the disinformation governance board. That's why they're freaking out over Elon Musk. It represents a loss of control. And in this political battle, right now, we're seeing wins on the side of people. Now, the people are divided between the populist left and right, but the populist right in particular is winning this battle. Not there's the whole, fifth generational informational war is not over. It's just a battle. And they're going to try and divide and conquer. They tried to put Trump against DeSantis. That's why I said, don't let those two Siamese fighting fish in the same bowl, because they will fight, and that's not what we need. And now they have a news story out here, and the news story is saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ms Boebert, they look from the outside like MAGA twins. I didn't never agree with that. Now, I do think they both come under the umbrella of MAGA, but they're not twins. Both loathed by Democrats for their incendiary right-wing rhetoric, but inside the House GOP, they're not quite buddy-buddy. I don't give a damn. What I do care, though, is this fighting, it can't come at the detriment of the larger picture. And before I go into this a little bit more, when they first got into the House, they're new. I mean, they're newbies. They're babies in the House. This is their first re-election, trying to run again for a second term. They're newbies. When they first got in, on the obvious comparison was to kind of link them together. And I did, in a way, link them together. But I never thought they were exactly the same. And linked them together, but I didn't really know what they were. And now we're finding out there's a clear separation. They're not equal. Marjorie Taylor Greene is light years away, more powerful, influential in the House Freedom Caucus. As far as MAGA, Marjorie Taylor Greene is the leader of the populist right. It's not Bannon. It's not Trump. I don't know who else you would even consider. It's not Gates. It's not Jordan. I don't even know if Jordan's really a populist. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the leader of the populist right. And let's just say Ms Boebert is not. She doesn't have the substance. She couldn't go on a long-form podcast and talk about these issues in an intelligent way, in my opinion. And Lauren, you could go ahead, prove me wrong. Go on with Tim Pool or whoever, I don't care. Rogan won't have you on probably right now, but go on to the podcast and speak if you want to kind of compete with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's not going to be behind closed doors. It's going to be about getting out there and speaking. Because when Marjorie Taylor Greene speaks, like her fire speech response to the State of the Union address, when she was, or even her speech at America First, and we'll get into that here with the AFPAC with Nick Fuentes, it was really good if you actually listen to the speech. So Ms Boebert is not on the same level as Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she needs to, if she's arguing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, she needs to understand where she's at, first and foremost. Privately, Republicans say Boebert, who's seen more of a party team player than Greene. Who's saying that? I want you, if you listen to this channel, I want the populist left and right to work together. But who's saying a team player, and what does team player mean? They probably don't mean what I mean when I say team player. What I mean is, like, for example, Biden is doing this bill to get $33 billion over to Ukraine. The whole squad basically approved of it. Republicans didn't, including Boebert and MTG. My thing is, why don't you guys work with the populist left and say, wait, why are you guys voting for this bill? Say no to this bill. Take the money, split it, and do student loans or whatever else you want to do with it. But when they say team player, I think they mean establishment team player. I'm kind of looking at Boebert a little sideways right now, because right now she doesn't know her role, her place, if this is true. They said the two tangled over Greene's appearance at a February event organized by a known, I don't even like using their verbiage. It's Nick Fuentes is what they're talking about, AFPAC. What's there to argue about? I hope it wasn't over that. If they're arguing over AFPAC, hey, who knows? I'm speculating because I don't know the topic. But if they're arguing over AFPAC, I don't know what Lauren Boebert could be saying. If the only thing that I could go with her is saying, hey, you could have even been stronger in your defense of your appearance. And I've done videos on that. I'm not going to sidetrack. But I don't think that's where Lauren's coming from if she was arguing with that. Because you wouldn't argue with it into a point where you're getting heated if that was the case. The confrontation grew so heated that at least one onlooker feared that the back and forth might escalate beyond the verbal cage match. Had another board member not stepped in to de-escalate. These are people clutching pearls, whatever. We'll see. People get heated all the time in politics, but we'll see. I don't know what this is about. I want to hear what Boebert says. Probably won't comment on it. It was confirmed by 3 people connected to the Freedom Caucus, whose members largely avoided public criticism. So, I don't know who's talking about this at the Freedom Caucus. Are they trying to get Boebert out? I don't know what's going on. That stuff shouldn't be leaking out. So the run-in between Greene and Boebert is a microcosm of a bigger identity crisis. Let me just end with this. I don't need to give this any more time. I have no more time for this. There is no identity crisis. When we look at policy, it's people first, it's America first, period. And there's going to be beef, there's going to be stuff popping off, but for damn sure there is no crisis. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's the leader. They're trying to go after her pretty hard. Let me know what you think. Take care.